ለመማር ወደ ትምህርት ተቋም መሄድ ግድ አይደለም። ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ
ራሳችሁን ከኮሮና ቫይረስ ወረርሽኝ እየጠበቃችሁ በቤታችሁ ወይም በተመቻችሁ ቦታ በኢንተርኔት አማካኝነት በኦንላይን ትምህርታችሁን መከታተል ትችላላችሁ።
ካናዳ ከሚገኘው ኢንተርናሽናል ኤር ትራንስፖርት አሶሲዬሽን አያታና ከእንግሊዙ ኢንስቲትዩት ኦፍ ኮመርሻል ማኔጅመንት ICM ጋር በመተባበር የሚሰጡ ትምህርቶችን ተከታትላችሁ በ6 ወር ጊዜ በዓለም አቀፍ ደረጃ ተቀባይነት ያለውን የስልጠና ማስረጃ ባለቤት መሆን ይቻላል።
ልምድ ባላቸው መምህራን እየተማራችሁ ጥያቄና መልስ የክፍል ስራዎች ፈተና መፈተን ክፍል ውስጥ እንዳላችሁት አይነት በኦንላይን ባላችሁበት ቦታ ከናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ
የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ
Okay. Good morning, class.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Zarada.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Did we discuss about last class? What was our last time's lesson? Actually, who's going to remind me about active and passive? Mr. Abtam, Doctor? Okay. Revise your last class, active and passive. And did we discuss about modal verbs? Last time we discussed about modal, active and passive. Cues are the Did I tell you that there is a cues?
No, sir.
Cues I know that class we were about questions. Cues here because live that. Assignment last time also I sent you, I think I gave you one topic which is about Abai River writing and essay.
የሆነ ራይቲንግ ላይ የሆነ ነገር ሰተናል ስክሪንሾት ያደረግን
ዴድላይኑ መቼ ነበር?
ዴድላይን አልተሰጠውም ገና እንትን ስላልተማር ነው ከተማርን በኋላ ነው የምታስገቡት ነው ያልከን።
ስለ ፓራግራፍ አላየንም እንዴ? ሲና ፓራግራፍ
አላየን።
እሺ መጣል ወደሱ መለሳለሁ። አሁን እቺ ነገር ነውና let's talk about this today. And I give you one assignment, modal verbs. Modal verbs, as you know, it's very elementary, very simple. Total right? Modal verbs are may, can, could, should, must, are to, need, would rather than, right? May is used to express politeness and probability. As one of my students last time recommended me, as much as possible, since most of you are advanced students, so we have to make our communication in English, right, rather than using Amharic. So may is used to express politeness and probability, as you know. May uses for two purposes. One, to ask people in a very polite way. The second is to show probability. You know, probability means perhaps, right? Uncertainty, right? Uncertainty. Examples, may I come in? This shows politeness. It's very simple. The second one, I may invite you lunch tomorrow. This one, probability. When somebody says, I will invite you for lunch tomorrow, and I will invite you for lunch tomorrow. So when somebody uses will shows what? Certainty, right? Something which is sure or certain. May is uncertainty. The second one is can. Can is used to ask for ability or politeness. Can is used to ask for ability, to ask somebody's ability. You know, ability like for skills, right? Can you speak English? Do you speak English? Do you swim, Simon? We say, can you swim? Do you speak French? No. Can you speak French? Because the languages are skills, right? When you want to check somebody's skill, we are expected to use can rather than do or will. Do you drive a car? This is not right English, so we say instead, can you drive a car? Because you are checking the person's ability, whether he or she can drive a car or not. The other one is polite. May and can both are used in a polite way, but most books say that may is more formal than can. May is more formal than can, but still both work for politeness. Can you swim? Can you explain this use for ability to ask persons for ability? Can you open the door is politeness. It's very simple, elementary. Could is a past verb of, I'm sorry, can. Could is a past verb of can and also shows politeness. Here, mind you, bear in mind. May, can, could, three of them use to show politeness. But among this, may is more formal than others, the rest. I could meet you yesterday means, did I meet you? Did I meet you? I could meet you yesterday. I could meet you yesterday. Did I meet you?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
No, right? No. Even if I had a time, I couldn't meet you. It means, right? Could you help me? It's very simple, very elementary. Let's proceed to the others. I want to focus here. Should and must. Should is used to give an advice or for suggestion, to suggest a person to give an advice. Should is weak obligation, whereas must is strong obligation. Must lamasketen. Some people, I sometimes come across people who say, you should have to speak, you should have to read, you should have to. This kind of English is not right. You should have to handle, because should is advice, have to is what? Have to is what? Have to is an obligation. How can an obligation and advice will come together? እንደዚህ አይነት common mistakes are a little bit. You should have to. I am finished. Right? This is common mistakes. Okay, let's back to the lesson. Should is used to give an advice. You should study hard, and you must study hard. You must study hard means it's an obligation. For instance, if I have a secretary, if my secretary comes late to office, I can say, you should come on time, or you must come on time. So the degree that it conveys, the message that it conveys is not the same, right? It's not the same. When I say for my receptionist or secretary should come on time, I'm not furious, right? I'm not angry. It's okay. It's an advisable, right? It's preferable to come on time. This means I'm not furious here. If I say to her, you must come on time, this means I'm a bit furious since she usually comes late, right? Since she usually comes late to class. To office. And so must when somebody uses must, you need to scare because there is a consequence, man. And so must, when somebody uses must, you need to scare, because if you don't fulfill what the person has already instructed you to do, there is a consequence. The person may take a measure, action, a measure. He may take a measure. You must keep quiet, sir. Otherwise, if you don't keep quiet, I will take a measure. I will fire you from class. I will, እርምጃ ይወሰዳል ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ መስት ብዙ ጊዜ የምንጠቀመው ወደፊት በኮንቨርሴሽን መጥታችኋል። አንድ ነገር ለማስገደድ ነው ማለት ነው። right? To force. At the back there is a consequence ማለት ነው። Thank you. Hard to ጥያቄ ካላችሁ በኋላ ትጠይቁኛላችሁ። If you have a question, you can ask me later. Hard to is a past verb of must and also have to. By the way, what's the difference between must and have to? Have to and must, both are obligation, but there is a slight difference. Have to and must. Who's going to answer? Speed up. With a paragraph to paragraph. Any student, the difference between must and have to. Thank you, Tom.
I think have to is more polite than must.
No, polite and must, both are obligation. Have to is not polite.
Okay, if not, then must is more stronger. It conveys a stronger message.
Than have to. Okay, thank you. Other students, excellent. Excellent is for the participation actually. Other student. Samson, Captain get lost. Captain instructor. Samson. Mr. Samson. Yes. Years. Nobody. Okay, let me explain to save our time here. So have to and must, both are obligation. Most books say that have to, must is used for external obligation. External obligation. Have to is used for internal obligation. Right? This is a slight difference. even if both are used for obligation, must የምንጠቀመው ለሶስተኛ ወገን ለምሳሌ ሶስተኛ ወገን ማለት for third person you must ነው የምንለው you must ነው የምንለው you must know they must know the Chinese people must fight against coronavirus rather than saying have to ስንጠቀም ለአይና ለዊ ነው ብዙ ጊዜ most of the times I have to go የሚባለው ለዛ ነው I have to go a husband and a wife when they discuss about something they use we have to right? Because the wife and the husband both are the part of the sentence right? They are the part of the things right the part of the idea the concept ማለት ነው ለሚያውቁት ነገር ስለዚህ I have to now we have to የሚባለው ለዛ ነው must is mostly for ይሄ ማለት I must አንልም ማለት አይደለም it doesn't mean that we don't say I must we must is it clear but it's preferable to use have to for I and we when we are the part of the sentence we Ethiopians have to build the night down we have to that rather than saying we must thank you if you have a question you ask me later point it out point it down need shows necessary and you have to have to come you have to come early means have to is the past verb of must and have to is the past verb of what must and have to right? As you know very simple you have to come on time means you didn't come for instance I can say to Samson you have to learn last time class this means he didn't learn last time's class man very simple need shows necessary means you know necessity gets a need you need to come on time you must come on time you have to come on time you should come on time these all are not the same they are not the same you need to learn all right you need to study you must study have to study not the same okay would rather than shows preference declaration in PowerPoint would rather than shows preference I would rather meet you at 3 p.m. than 4 p.m. when you would rather the thing that you want happen comes first the thing that you don't want to happen comes after than ማለት ነው ከዛም በኋላ ይከተላል ለምሳሌ ስለዚህ ይልቅ ማለት ነው ማለት አይደል ይልቅ ነው አይደል 9 ሰዓት ከምንገናኝ አይቀርም 10 ሰዓት ከምንገናኝ ይልቅ 9 ሰዓት ብንገናኝ ይሻላል አይደል I would rather live in Ethiopia than Kenya I would rather marry than living alone Haptam would rather study management than accounting so I am proposing him to study management than accounting if you have any question regarding what we have discussed the door is open any question about modal verbs if I can put if you have any question please any question regarding what we have discussed ናትናኤል ወንዴ ይሰማል ናትናኤል ውዱ ናትናኤል ወንዴ
አቤት
ይሰማል
አዎ ናትናኤል ውዴ ነው ስሜ ናትናኤል ውዴ ነው ይሰማል ኧረ ይሰማል
አዘር ስቱደንት ቼክ ማድረጋችሁ በደንብ ከኔ ጋር መሆናችሁ የቪዲዮ ስለማድረጋችሁ እሺ አዘር ስቱደንት ኖ question እንቀጥል ማለት ነው ዝምታ እሺ thank you let's proceed okay exercise make any sentence using the given modal verbs let me give 4 minutes አራት ደቂቃ ልስጣችሁ please ቶሎ 4 minutes for this exercise you are expected to do it 4 minutes classwork you are given 4 minutes okay May who's going to Z can you total on the class one May Z May example I mean sentence
I may be late for the class
I may be late for class tomorrow in a case of polite demo may I go out possible thank you can Jerusalem can
I go now?
Possible. Or can I come tomorrow? Or can I go? Possible. Thank you. Can you swim? Can you dance? All right. Possible. Should. I mean, could. After could.
I could do you a favor.
I could do you a favor, but I did not do one. Should?
But I don't know.
Yeah, should. Should.
We should study hard.
You should take a nap.
Yeah, I should take a nap. Yeah. If somebody falls asleep, but I'm going to study. If somebody falls asleep, I'm so then you can advise him, right? You should take a nap. If he nods or falls asleep, thank you. Must. Anybody can answer.
You must give me an answer.
You must give me an answer, otherwise I will kill you, no?
Yeah.
The consequence. We don't know the consequence. Okay. Let me give you one example. If Martha is 39 years old, she hasn't never married before, what do you say to her? What do you say to her? Martha is 39 years old, she didn't marry. She hasn't married yet. What do you say to her? Based on what we have learned.
If she's a family member or a nearby friend, I could use must. Yeah. You must marry now because she's getting too late for bearing child. But if I'm not that close, I would suggest use should.
You should
marry.
You should marry. Yeah. Did somebody say to you should marry or you must marry before you get married, or you married?
Should. We give her strong advice.
For Mr. Aptal?
Yeah. If she's a family member, she's getting near her menopause, so I would kind of force her to marry. So I would use must, I guess, rather than I would use should.
Tamiskin, how old are you? I can ask male's age. I don't ask the females one. Tamiskin, how old are you?
Repeat again, please.
How old are you? How old are you, Mr. Tamiskin? He couldn't listen to me. It's okay. Anyway, it's okay. I wanted to give example by Mr. Tamiskin, but he couldn't listen to me. All right. Okay. Hard to. Any other student? Tamiskin.
So teacher, you didn't answer that question for us.
Which one?
The one we were arguing with.
39 years old. Oh, I agree with you. You are right. It depends like the approach. I agree with you. But I wanted to ask Tamiskin. That's why. But Tamiskin, I couldn't listen to you. I'm sorry because of network. Okay, let's proceed to that question. Actually, hard to
for himself.
Tamiskin, are you speaking? Okay, hard to. Any other students? Hard to.
He has to think for himself.
He had to think
for himself.
For himself, yeah. But he didn't think one. Thank you. Would rather than Zed other thing. Would rather than?
I would rather France than like USA.
Possible. After
I would rather read the Bible than a novel.
Hello, Samal.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I think it was Tamiskin.
Tamiskin, how are you?
Hello.
Tamiskin.
ይሰማላ
How old are you?
እኔም እየመለስኩ ነበረ 30 ዓመቴ ነው ያለ 30
Okay, Haftamu now. Haftamu, can you say you should Tamiskin should marry or Tamiskin must marry? He's 30 years old.
I would say he should marry.
Are you sure? He must marry.
But yeah, he's a male, and we have in this meeting older people than him who are not married. So
no,
I would rather advise.
Marriage not by age. 23 years old can marry. I totally disagree with you.
But he is a male, he can marry anytime, I guess.
What's the advantage getting married in 30s and 40s and 20s, especially 30s and 40s? Which one do you propose?
I propose people should marry, early in their age, because their children will have a father and mother to play with. If you get married at let's say 40 years old, by the time your child turns 18, you will be 58. You'll be working with Ken, so you will be like a grandfather to him.
I'm one of those examples. Thank you for insulting me. I'm one of the very good examples. Oh, really, you touched my moral, really. So, at what age did you marry? Was it in the right time?
I am 34 now. I got married about 7 years ago, so around 27.
You made a mistake. You rushed. You rushed a lot. It's okay. It's okay. By the way, they, I'm just finding out different issues and talk with you because this is a communicative class. Is it clear? So speaking part of the what if it next week, I'll give you presentation. Right? So this is one of the lesson, the part of the lesson. Thank you. Thank you. Would rather that I think you have understood. Jerusalem and 7 years. Jerusalem. Would rather that. You are the only female in the class. Right? In your British, huh? Here, see. Would rather that. Yours. 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 Altasaman.
የኔ አሁን ይሰማል?
Samson ይሰማል። Yours አይሰማም። Samson, how are you?
I'm fine. Yeah.
ያንተ ምን ነበር? ኦዲዮ እንትን ኢርፎን ችግር አለበት?
አይ ማይክሮፎን የተበላሽቶ ነበር። አሁን ኤርፎን ሰክቼ ነው።
ኢየሩሳሌም እንደሱ ልታደርጊ ቆንጆ ነው። ሁላችሁም ጋር እንስማ። እሺ ሳምሶን would rather than can I give you example?
would rather than
It's okay. It's okay. Let me give you, there's one music, as you know. I would rather go blind than we can argue by this. I would rather go blind than see you with another says. Do you agree with this music? With this sentence? I would rather go blind than see you with another. I think you understand this music. You know this music. Zed, you understand? Do you agree with this thing?
No, I don't think so.
Do you sing a song like this for your wife, for your tomorrow's wife?
No.
Why?
Because I don't think we are going to fight. So.
After, do you agree with this music? I'd rather go blind than see with another. He prefers to be blind man than to see his wife with another.
Yeah. Yes, I think because love is very jealous. So when you love someone, you'll become very jealous. So you would sing like that for your woman.
Again, do you agree with Mr. Aftam? Do you agree? I mean, for other students, Narnair would they? It's okay. It's okay. Speaker actually nice mind. It's okay. It's okay. Let's proceed to the other thing. Thank you. Assignment speaking, in the practice, right? It's just the kind of practice actually. Assignment one, homework, right? I will not, it has no mark, but you can screenshot out, try to talk over it. Try to screenshot this one, then you can talk about it. It has no any mark. Being couple, not practicing the tarot. I think, have you done? It's just exercise.
presentation one.
Presentation. ይሄ ሁላችሁ ብትሰሙ ደስ ይለኝ ነበርና because mark ያለው ነገር ስለሆነ አሰልስላችሁ so I want everybody to listen to me so let me check again whether students are listening to me or not. Samson ይሰማል?
አቤት
ይሰማል? Thank you. ተመስገን ይሰማል? ተመስገን
ይሰማል።
Thank you. ናትናኤል ውዴ ናትናኤል ደረጀ ሁላችሁ ይሰማችሁ? Thank you. Okay, these are assignments. Mark አለው presentation ነው. So the presentation will be for next Tuesday. Alright, our class is every Tuesday and Thursday. So this presentation one, hereafter I'll give different kind of presentation. So it will be marked out of 10%, my dear students. So you need to do it in a very beautiful way. Presentation one, 10% speaking. Choose any one of these topics and present it for 8 minutes, maximum 8 minutes, not above, not below 8 minutes. Here are the 3 criterion for the evaluations, right? Since I'm very kind, I'm telling you based on what you will be, that you will be evaluated. You will be evaluated based on your fluency, confidence, readiness. By the way, now, you cannot have, the privilege to make presentation. If I give you a chance now, right? You can't do that. But on Tuesday, so after I discuss with the coordinator, lab coordinator, so you will have a chance, to make presentation. Is that much? You will have a chance to make presentation, to deliver presentation on Tuesday. Privilege is attached to African college. All right, having this in mind, there are 10 topics, 10 questions. There are 10 questions. So since I am Democrat, you are expected to choose only one. I have given you many alternatives to make things very simple and let's choose in a very based on your interest. Number one. Assume that you are flying an airplane. Assume that you are flying an airplane and there are 7 passengers in your plane. If somebody forces you to throw one of your passengers and save the life of others, whom you throw? Why? Be reasonable matter. Okay? You are in a plane, you are flying a plane, there are 7 passengers in the plane. Somebody forces you to throw somebody. Whom you throw? To kill or to save? That is wrong. Yeah? To save, to kill. To kill. So you need to be reasonable for it. If you say I don't throw this, you need to be reasonable. If you say I throw this, you need to be reasonable. In both aspects, you are expected to be rational. Now, A, your mom is here. Do you throw your mom? Do you throw your mom? B, do you throw your child? Your child is a passenger. Do you throw? If you say I throw my child, why? If you say I don't throw my child, why? Pregnant woman is here. Do you throw her? The only doctor in the world who has HIV. We know that. It's very obvious that there is no medicine for HIV. All right? All right? So far. But if there was a medicine for HIV, this medicine belongs to the only doctor who is now in your plane. All right? The only doctor in the world, doctor. E, the only farmer who feeds 50% of Ethiopian people. If this is, we know that we have many farmers here in Ethiopia, but assume that if there was only one, the same thing like the doctor, right? The only Ethiopian farmer. If you throw this person, 50% of Ethiopian people will die. 50% Ethiopian will die if you throw this. So do you throw this person? Yes? No. Why? Your child, if your mom, so your child, gentleman, your doctor. Okay, I'm sorry. Your child, this has to be your brother. F is your brother, I'm sorry. F, your brother. F, your brother. F, your brother. G, your wife. For the males, your wife. For the female, your husband. This row. If you want this, you can do this. Number one. If you don't like, number two, what are the advantage and disadvantage of using Facebook? All right? The advantage and disadvantage of using Facebook. Number three, what would you do if you had $20 million? If you had $20 million, what would you do? When you answer, you say like this: if I had $20 million, I would go to Pizza Hut, I think you don't say like this. I will do this and say like that. Number 4, what are the cause of divorce or divorce? Some people, you come across people who get married in 2 months, then at the end of 3 months, they will divorce. Some people. What are the cause? 5, what are the advantage, disadvantage of learning online? Online learning, advantage, disadvantage. Number 6, what is the importance of building NIDA? Explained in detail. 7, which must come first, knowledge or money? When you were in high school, I hope you had a chance to debate on this topic, on this item, knowledge or money. If you say knowledge comes first, why? Money comes first, why? Number 8, no rose without thorn. What does it mean? It's a saying, a proverb, English proverb. በአማርኛ ያለ መከራ አይገኝ እንጀራ ማለት ነው። No rose without thorn. ምን ማለት ነው? What does it mean? Number 9, how can you measure success? How can you measure success? Number 10, the last, what do you do when you get stress? ሲጨንቃችሁ ምን ታደርጋላችሁ? When you get stress, what do you do? Screenshot ታደርጉልኛላችሁ ችግር? You can make it. No, actually I send you back today.
ብትልክልን ይሻለናል። ይሄ ፕሬዘንት የምታደርግበት ስለሌለን ይዛሬው ብትልክልን ካላክልን ደግሞ አንተ ላክልን ለእንትኖች ለኮኦርዲኔተሮች ትተዋት ሄድ አንተ ላክልን ብዙ ጊዜ they forget
አሁን ልክላችኋለሁ። Thank you. At the end of the class. Okay. You have any question based on regarding the presentation? Any question? So on Tuesday, everybody should come in because on next time, everybody should present on Tuesday. If somebody says, I'm not ready today, it's very difficult, to give a chance for that. Once the preparation is given the same day, like the Islam mindset. Tuesdays, everybody should be present. Please inform those who didn't attend today's class. Mr. Aftam. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
በትምህርት ከፍ ብሎ መብረር ይቻላል። ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ ከከፍተኛ ትምህርት አግባብነትና ጥራት ኤጀንሲ ሙሉ ዕውቅናን ባገኘንባቸው በማስተርስ ዲግሪ ኤምቢኤ በስትራቴጂክ ማኔጅመንት፣ ኤምቢኤ በባንኪንግ እና ፋይናንስ፣ ኤምቢኤ በቢዝነስ ሊደርሺፕ፣ ኤምቢኤ በሪስክና ኢንሹራንስ፣ ኤምኤስሲ በኢንተርናሽናል ትሬድ እና ኢኮኖሚክስ ዘርፎች በእውቀት ለመቅረጽ የበቁ ፕሮፌሰሮቻችን አረንጓዴ መብራታቸውን አብርተዋል። በነገራችን ላይ በኬንያ ሀገር ከሚገኙ ስመጥር ዩኒቨርሲቲዎች በሚመጡ ፕሮፌሰሮች የትኩረት መስክ ትምህርቶቹ መሰጠታቸው ልዩ ያደርገናል። በምርጥ የትምህርት ስርዓት የተገነባው ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ በመጀመሪያ ዲግሪ በአቪዬሽን ማኔጅመንት፣ በሆቴል ማኔጅመንት፣ በአካውንቲንግ እና ፋይናንስ፣ በማርኬቲንግ ማኔጅመንት አስተማማኝ ትምህርት ይገቢውና ራስዎንና ሀገሮን ይለውጡ። አድራሻ 22 አደባባይ ወደ ሾላ በሚወስደው መንገድ ላይ ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ ህልሞን እውን ያደርጋል።
Okay, yes. I think, did we discuss about this, Mr.? We did not discuss last time.
No, we haven't started about paragraph indice. You told us to study about paragraph indice and get prepared for next class, which is
but we didn't talk about it. Yeah, thank you. Let's discuss about something here. I will send you. So let's add a PowerPoint in that. I will send you this one. Okay, here. The difference between a paragraph and a essay. What do you know about paragraph, Mr. Upton?
Paragraph is a group of sentence that talks about the same issue, same idea, which have an introductory part and we call the introductory part.
Okay, thank you. Other students, what's the difference between essay and a paragraph? Other students? Any other students? Please participate.
As After like a paragraph is a composition of sentences, and an essay is a composition of a paragraphs, which gives a complete thought.
Okay, thank you. Samson, I'm checking your background.
Haftamus Ase. Paragraph is a group of sentences that have similar ideas And the way those paragraphs come together, they become essay, I guess.
Thank you. Right. Thank you. Thank you. All of you are right. Okay. I think now, when I think, most of you have more idea about paragraph, right? Since you started learning in high school too. But now, I would like to focus on the essay. That's better, I think, right? Since it's advanced. So we need to talk more on essay part. Essay I know more on our one. As you have said, look at the PowerPoint. A paragraph is the fundamental unit of composition in many languages. In many languages, it's a fundamental unit of composition. Paragraph is a set of related sentences that work together to develop a single point. This is the best definition. It's a set of related sentences. A set of related sentences, right? Keeps it unified on a one that work together to develop a single point. In other words, it has several supporting sentences. It has several supporting sentences. It has its own topic sentence also. It has its own topic sentence, one topic sentence one. Now, let's spend time here. An essay. An essay is a text of several paragraphs that supports a single point. A typical essay consists of 3 sections, namely introduction, the main idea or point developed in an essay. Introduction is here. Introduction, body part, and conclusion. Detail the main idea or point developed in an essay is called thesis. It's a very, very, very key point. The key point when you think of essays, you need to think of the thesis. What does thesis mean? Thesis statement means the main. Thesis statement means the main idea of. Thesis statement means, you can write. Thesis statement means the main idea of the essay. This means the main idea of the essay, which will be explained in detail. Where? In the body part matter. In the body parts. This statement means the main idea of the essay, which will be explained in detail in the body parts. In the body part. So it's more general. Look at the PowerPoint. It's more general. These statements are more general. Okay, it's more general and abstract than the details found in the body section. It ties together and controls the whole essay. It controls the whole essay because it is what you have put in the introductory part, which will cover the whole part of the essay. Okay. It appears in the introduction and is then developed in the supporting paragraph that follow. And master supporting the series. Please write. It says first part introductory, number 1, introductory. Introductions to under introductions, you start from general to specific. Under introduction part, you start from general to specific. Write down. From general to specific. General to specific. What does general to specific mean? Is there anybody who's going to try? When I give an assignment, I will check, based on this link. Has the student started from general to specific? Has the student included his statements? How did he summarize the conclusion? How did he write the body part? So let's talk over the detailed part. What does from general to specific mean? Any other students? እኔ ዛሬ ቆንጆ ቁርስ ስለበላሁ ነው በደንብ እየተስተማርኩ ነው። እሺ ቁርስ በልታችሁ ያልበላው ያለ ሰው ስላለ እሺ ሀብታሙ ሀዚትን ቤል ጉብሬት እሺ
I reckon from general to specific since we said in the an essay, the introduction part most likely would be the thesis.
Since we said, I'm sorry, said, I'm sorry, and then said, since we said.
Okay. If the thesis is our introduction part, since the thesis might be more than one sentence, so the first sentence should give a general idea of what we are going to talk about in the body part, but later we will be specific.
Thank you.
So we go from general to specific.
Thank you. Perfect. I think all of the other students have seen that idea with you. Thank you. Thank you. You're right. When you write, when you think of a certain topic, don't rush to the topic, madam. You start from general to specific. There is one saying in English: don't beat around the bush. Okay? If Mr. Haptamu wants me to lend him money, so he may talk about his family, he may talk about, as he has no work, something. But his intention is to ask me for money. Yeah? So I can say for Haptamu, don't beat around the bush, right? This means when I come to the essay, don't directly come to the point, right? Try to warm up, try to heat up the topic. Try to warm up or heat up the topic. For instance, specific learning a lot. If I give you a chance to speak about, to write about HIV, you don't say HIV is what do you say? In the world, there are many diseases. Among these diseases, HIV is one. Let me give an example. If I ask you to write about National Aviation College, you don't say National Aviation College is found at Bole Yeka Subsidy, you don't write about the departments. Before you start talking about the National Aviation College, you are expected to say, in Addis, there are many private colleges, since National is a private college, right? So, yes, if I ask you to write about your best friend, write about your best friend, if I say, he doesn't say my best friend is not naive. What does he say? Instead of saying this, he talks about friendship, right? Friendship is good, right? In the time of bad and so start from general to specific. Thank you. Under introduction, from general to specific, test statements. We include also test statements right now under introductory part. We write test statements under introduction, introductory part. Introduction part, test statement in order. Test statement ማለት ዋና ሀሳብ what will be explained in the body part. Okay. Here is this also very important point. By the way, if the introductory part is very beautiful, the persons will be attracted to read the body and the conclusion. And then not only me, many people. If you make, the introductory very beautiful, very attractive, the readers will be more interested to go through the body and the conclusion. But if the introductory is not attractive, it's not interesting, it's not technically chronological order, so even the teacher or any readers may not be interested to read the other part paragraphs. So by the way, I'm sorry. Introductory part and body conclusion it's not only for the it's not only for the even for the oral, even oral presentation. Don't trust next time oral presentation, you will present oral presentation based on what you are given. So when you present the presentation, okay, don't say directly say I have chosen number one, I have chosen number two, the divorce, something. No. Before you start talking about the topic, what you have chosen, so you need to say something. You need to start, the introductory part, opening speech manual. When you open speech, you need to use different kind of things. Technical, how to open speech. For instance, you can say, first and foremost, I would like to extend my instructor, Mr. Brown, for giving me this chance. First of all, I'm capital action is when you close also oral presentation, you need to summarize and you need to take the person who paid much attention, right? Okay, so test statement is there. Let's back to let's go to the body part. Before we go to the body part, if I ask you to write about HIV, what are the test statements that come to your mind? Example is if I ask you to write about HIV, what do you think of the test statements? Most of the time, test statements are expected to be 3 because most essays have how many paragraphs? 5, right? 1, introduction. The second, in the body part, there are 3 body parts, 3 paragraphs. The last will be what? The last will be the conclusion. The conclusion, the last. So what do you think of the test statements about HIV? Except Mr. Artam, other students, other new hand. Tamilia, that was good.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What do you think of the thesis?
About the number of people who are infected with this disease, about the distribution.
Okay.
And
excellent. Okay, thank you for the distribution. Thank you, Zara. Congrats. Other students? Johannes Medhin. I have never talked with him. Johannes Medhin?
Yes.
Have you ever joined this class, mister?
Yes, I have a little problem with my phone.
So, have you ever attended this class? It's my first time to see you.
ሁለት ቀን ከዚህ በፊት
ገብታል? Oh, please. No, not only 2 days. No, we have this almost 1 month. Please, በተቻለ መጠን እንትን ተበልሽ ዋይፋይ ያለበት እንትን
እሺ
አንደኛ አቴንዳንስም ያው 80% ተማሪ አቴንዳንስ ይጉድ ታጋር ካልሆነ ፋይናል ላይ ለትንሽ Okay, Mr. Aptam, ሌላ ተማሪ ካለ Mr. Aptam, what do you think of this?
I think from what you have said before, I would start from general, saying there are many deadly diseases in the world, and then I would go for the second sentence. HIV is one of them, and then then I would decide what is my opinion. Am I right about the number of people that have it, or the treatment that's going on, or it depends on what I'm about to write. So I will use 3 sentences.
So what do you think of the test statements? My question is the test statement.
The test statement, I would say the HIV is one of the deadly diseases in the world.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good. You are right. Okay, so let me give you one example. If you are asked to write about the HIV or about a certain topic, think of the test here. So test is the first thing what comes to your mind is the causes. The causes. So when they original unsafe sexual intercourse is one of the theses. Unsafe sexual intercourse is one of your theses. It can be. The second can be blood contamination. It can be the second thesis for you, blood contamination, because people will be affected sometimes, due to blood contaminated blood. Right? The third thesis will be sharing sharper material together. Right? Sharing sharper material with people. Sharing sharper materials with people. እነዚህ ሶስት አሁን ቴስት ሊሆኑ ይችላሉ ማለት ነው። ልክ እንደዚህ ነው የምታወሩት። when you think of a certain topic, before you start writing everything, try to find out 3 case statements. ቅድም general specific እንዳለው after the general specific, what will follow is what? What will follow is the case statements. Example, case statements, ሶስት ወጡ ማለት unsafe sexual intercourse, blood contamination, sharing sharper materials. These 3 case statements, as we have said before, they will be explained in detail in the body parts. Example, unsafe sexual intercourse, if you put first by the sequence, in the body part, the first paragraph should talk about unsafe sexual. In the second part, the statement may talk about blood contamination that you have put in the introductory part. The second paragraph of the body part will talk about blood contamination. As the recommendation, the third sharing sharper materials has been put in the introductory part at the third, at the last. So the third paragraph of the body part may talk about sharing sharper materials. የተግባባን ማዘባረቅ አይጠበቅም። you are not expected to unify መሆን አለበት. It has to be unified. Unified means one paragraph talks about one thing, one paragraph talks about one thing. So the 3 case statements will be explained in detail in the body part. On this slide, if I ask you to write about the major problems of Africa, what do you think of the thesis? This in the you need to experience how to find out this. If I ask you to write about the major problems of Africa, what do you think of this? You can find 1,000 theses, no problem, but I need 3.
I didn't listen what the question was. I did not clearly listen what the question was.
Okay. If I ask you to write about the major problems of Africa, what do you think of the thesis will be? 3 case statements. Jerusalem or Jerry or Jerusalem. Johannes. Yours. Nice amount. Yours. I couldn't listen to yours. Johannes. Johannes, yeah. Please, can you?
About HIV or problems in general?
The problems of the major problems of Africa. What kind of things? Poverty, very good. One.
Poverty and coronavirus.
Actually, you are right. Nowadays, corona is here. Second, third. I didn't think of the coronavirus.
Education,
very good. Lack of education, very good. ብዙ ማውጣት ይቻላል። It can be different. Thank you. Mr. Abdul?
Civil war.
Very good.
And lack of infrastructure.
Very good.
ያለ እድሜ ጋብቻ በእንግሊዝኛ early marriage.
Okay, thank you. Each other, by the way, you can find out 1,000 this. Okay, you're right. It can be one of the thesis will be maybe poverty, as Johannes said. The second might be corruption. The third might be lack of good governance. እኔ 3 እንደዚህ ነው አውጣው ሀብታም 3 የራሱ ሊያወጣቸው ኢየሩስ የራሱ አውጣቸው ሳምሶን የራሱ ሊያወጣቸው በዚህ ግድ ይሄ ነው የሚባል ነገር የለውም ግን ያስፈኛል ወይ ነው የሰማችሁ አይደል It's a very important point. That's why I'm spending my time here more. If you don't find, the very good thesis, when you explain the body part, it's an idea. If you don't find very good thesis, you cannot write. It will not enable you, right? It will not enable you to write more in the body part. Okay? It means like that. So the conjunctive sound, corruption and something else. If Mr. Haftam has no more information about corruption, it's better to leave it and talk about poverty. If he has no more idea about the poverty, it is advisable for him to find out the thesis, for instance, lack of good governance. Lack of good governance. Jerusalem ጥሩ ሐሳብ ካላት ስለ ፖቨርቲ እሱ መምረጥ ይችላልሽ ነው ይሰማችሁ ብለው ስለዚህ የሚያጽፋችሁ ነገር ነው what you are expected to put in the statements has to be what will help you in the body part to explain your ideas in detail ማለት so that's what means is ስለዚህ እንቀጥላለን introductory part ቅድም ያወራሁት ነው እንጂ ቶሎ ነው ያው አለዚ ላይ introductory paragraph the introduction performs the following functions using one or more sentences it hooks or captures the reader's interest ቅድም ያለው what I have said before the introductory paragraph should capture the reader's interest ቅድም ያልኩት ማለት what I have said before. It also specifies the background or context needed to understand the text. Most importantly, the thesis sections of the essay is what we have discussed before. The introductory part is most importantly, it's all about the thesis section of the essay. It is the mother of the paragraph, sorry. The mother of the essay, right? Right? እነዚህ ናቸው የሚወልዱት ማለት right? This is እነዚህ ይወልዳሉ body ይወልዳሉ Thank you. The second one, first supporting paragraph. As you know, under the introductory, there is a topic sentence. After that, there is a supporting paragraph. The topic sentence advances the first supporting point for the thesis. And the specific evidence in the rest of the paragraph develops that first point. The order of the support or details in the body, in the body section is made evident in this paragraph at the beginning or at the end. The second supporting paragraph, the topic sentence advances the thesis supporting point for the thesis. And the specific evidence in the rest of the paragraph develops at the second point. It develops the second point. The third supporting paragraph, the topic sentence advances the third supporting point for the thesis. Evidence in the rest of the paragraph develop that third point. Concluding paragraph. In this section, the conclusion what we have discussed is what about introductory part and body parts. The body conclusion. The last part of the essay is conclusion. Conclusion. What should be included under conclusion? Under conclusion, you summarize the whole idea. In this section, brief or restatement the main details and summarize the test statements. You summarize the test statements. Listen to me here. Dear students, here, don't add something new under the conclusion part. Some students, they add something new idea. What they haven't explained in the body, in the body and in the introductory part, what they didn't talk about. In conclusion, okay? So conclusion ማለት ያወራችሁትን ማጠቃለል ነው okay but ቢቻል ምንድነው የሚለው under conclusion part try to summarize new words ነው this means what the words that you have used repeatedly in the body and the introductory part don't bring and macerate the people under the conclusion part. It will be redundancy is not good. It will be boring. So try to conclude the conclusion part in new words, rather than using the same word that you have used one, and summarize the whole idea. Especially when you summarize, focus on the thesis marker. Summarize the thing because the main section, the key points for this is the thesis statement. So this conclusion like as you know, as you know, there are some phrases that you put in conclusion, to sum up my points, to generalize, in short, there are some keywords that you are expected to use under the conclusion parts. And when you write an essay, advanced planning is crucial for success. You need to plan before you write an essay. Planning is important. Think of the thesis, think of the deadline to specific, think of what you write. Plan your essay in two ways. Number one, prepare a scratch outline. This should consist of a short statements of the thesis, followed by the main supporting. This is what we have said. Working at an aptly planned was my worst job in studying. Here on a topic, so text the major points of African development. The first, hard work. The second, full pay. The third, bad working. This can be the outline for this given topic matter. These outlines will be explained in detail. Prepare a more detailed outline. So in the next part, you explain in detail about hard work, full pay, bad working. And besides, if you are asked to write about Ethiopia, if I ask you to write about Ethiopia, I say, so you need to think of three test statements. What made Ethiopia different from the rest of the world, from the rest of other countries? One, uncolonized, example, uncolonized. The second, the second, about Ethiopia. One, uncolonized country, other. Other students.
Yes, sir.
Other? Actually, it has about
the origin of human being.
Origin of human being, very good. ሌላ እንደዚህ መጨመር ትችላላችሁ። ጊዜያችሁን አላቃጥልም። እንደዛ ስለዚህ እንደዚህ አይነት ታውቁና ታወራችሁ ኦሪጂን ኦፍ እንትን በደንብ ታወራላችሁ። ታንክ ዩ። እዚህ ጋር እናጠቃላለን። አሁን እዚህ ጋር ኮንክሉዲንግ ፓራግራፍ ገብቷችኋል ብዬ አስባለሁ። እቺ መጨረሻ ማጠቃለያ ነች። ልክላችኋለሁ። ቱ ራይት አን ኢፌክቲቭ ኢሴይ ይላል። ፈርስት ፕሪፔር አን አውትላይን ፎሎዊንግ ዘ ስሪ ፓርትስ። ቅድም ያወራነው ይሄ ማጠቃለያ ነው። ኢንትሮዳክሽንስ፣ ኦፕነርስ፣ ባክግራውንድ ኢንፎርሜሽን፣ ኬስ ስቴትመንት። ቅድም ያወራነው ፕሪቪው ኦፍ ዘ ስሪ ሜን ፖይንት name body, topic sentence, explanation, topic sentence, specific list, explanation, more body like explains it. Try to do examples. Examples have the power to convey your message. Because they have a power. Examples have a power to explain things for your readers. Concluding sentence is the same thing. Topic, explanation, conclusion lesson. Conclusion like summarize the main point, restate, and no one. Have you any questions regarding this essay? If you have any question, the door is open. You can shower me. You can shower. Take care. Samsung. Is it clear? Is it clear? Samsung. Not nine?
A bit.
Do you understand? You get back?
Yeah.
It's an assignment. Did I give you this assignment last time?
I I don't think this is the assignment you have given us. Let me check.
Yeah, here you are right. Understand. Okay, but if I understand the church one, that is about some writing now today.
Writing እንደነበረ
የኛው ሁለተኛ አሳይመንት እናንተ ዲቫሉት ለማድረግ ያለን አማራጭ ኪውዝ ስለሌለ አሳይመንት ነው። ያው በዛ ነው አሳይመንት ሲበዛ ጥሩ ነው because I don't have the chance to evaluate by cues or something like this. ስትሰሩ ለባካችሁ
the last assignment you given us was write a paragraph about a memory from your past.
Yeah, that was assignment.
That's a paragraph.
This is the second assignment. ሁሉም 10 ማርክ አለው ወይ? The first assignment has 10 mark. This has 10 mark one. Deadline this one for next week at this time. ዛሬ ሳምንት ማለት ነው። ኢሜል ብቻቸውን እንዳታሙ ኒው ኢሜል ታይቂ ዘ ኒው ኢሜል ተላውን ጄኔስትሪ ነው።
You've given us an email last time. We don't know, but this is like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, I have changed the new email, so it's better to use this new email. Shall I chat? Shall I send you by chat?
Yes.
Now key now email no. Stay until like wait for it. Please use this email. Inform to other students. This is my new email. The keyboard is not working here. Okay. Round key 23 at gmail.com. This is my email. Please use this email. Alright, try to delete the email which I gave you last time. That was my personal email. This is the new email. No space. Space alone one. Round key 23 at gmail.
Okay.
ኪ ያልኩት ባይዘው የራሴን ኪ ማለት ነው። ያ ካምፓኒ ስላለ ኪ የሚባለው right? Some students have been joking at me. Okay, so I made it by my own company's name, key. Okay, thank you. Clown key 23, no space alone, at gmail.com. Please, you need to use this one. ዛሬ ደክሞቻል መሰለኝ እንቀጥላለን።
ኦኬ
እሺ let's go. Assignment ይላል writing deadline for next week at this time ማለት ነው። till next week ማለት write a descriptive essay on the topic called ይታያችኋል አባይ river. Write a descriptive essay on the topic Abai river. ይህን ታውቃላችሁ ያስባለሁ። ስንጽፍ ናሬቲቭ ኢሴ አለ አይደል? ዲስክሪፕቲቭ አለ፣ ፐርሱሲቭ አለ፣ ኤክስፖዚተሪ አለ። there are four types. እነዚህ ታውቃላችሁ? እስቲ እንቀጥል ብለን ታውቃላችሁ ብዬ ነው። ዲስክሪፕቲቭ what does narrative say? ናትናኤል ውድ ይቅርታ ውዴ ነው ውድ ነው ያልኩኝ። I'm sorry እንግዲህ ናትናኤል እሺ what does narrative say?
ናሬቲቭ ማለት ያው ኮምፔር እያደረግን ያነጻጸርን
ናሬቲቭ thank you ናሬቲቭ ሳይሆን ናሬት ማለት መተረክ ነው። you narrate about the past አይደል? about the past narrating about the past መተረክ ትረካ ማለት ነው። for instance when you want to write about your high school that is narrative እንደዚህ ያደርግ ነበር እንደዚህ ሆነ ነበር እንደዚህ ያደርግ so most of the times use past tense narrative ማለት ያው ጊዜ ስለሌለ ሌሎቻችሁ መመለስ ትችሉ ነበር so ተወንተ ለበየ ነው። ሁለተኛው types of essay persuasive ነው። ዲቴል አልገባውላችሁ ብዙ ምን ስላልሆነ አስፈላጊ ከሆነ ኔክስት ደግሞ እንተናለን። persuasive writing ማለት essay ማለት you persuade ማለት is a type of writing that you use when you want to convince, when you want to persuade, ለማሳመን ማለት ነው persuasive ይባላል። to persuade, to convince. For instance, if this college, if most students refuse not to learn on online learning, so the college may use when the college wants to persuade or convince the students. So the college can use what kind of types of writing? Persuasive types of writing to persuade the students to come to online class. The third types of writing essay descriptive. Descriptive you describe. Describe. You describe things, you describe a person, especially when you describe a person, you can use two types of descriptions, two ways of describing people, external descriptions and internal descriptions for people. So for the Abai River, you describe descriptions, you have expository, explain description by the Google, right? Google it and go through different things, then you will understand what does descriptive say ማለት. ትንሽ አንብቡና ጻፉ. If it's necessary, I will explain in the next class. Your essay should be, ቅድም ሲላችኋል oral presentation ላይ evaluation የሰጧችሁ fluency, confidence, readiness እዚህም ደግሞ evaluate ማድረግባችሁ በዚህ criteria ሰጣችኋለሁ. ሆን ብዬ ነው because እንድታስቡት ማለት. Your essay should be complete and unified. Your essay should be what? Complete and unified. Unified, what does it mean? Unified, what does it mean? Your essay should be unified, what does it
mean? Complete sense ያለው ነገር complete sense ያለው ነገር ወይ የተሟላ ነገር.
Thank you. Other students, thank you. Other students. Unified.
Organized and related.
That was good. Organized and
related.
Related. Yeah, thank you. That was good. You are really, I'm so much proud of you. Thank you very much. That was good. Organized and related. He's right. Related one another. Unity, unity value. It has to keep the unity. It's better was I point that by the better was I point. And better the balance by the when I check, I have to go each sentence in detail. Detail here for Manapona. Mark Clay I'm seriously matter. So that's the unity monorail, but it has to be unified. Most students when they are given a certain topic, for instance, if they are asked to write about coronavirus, they may talk about malaria, they may talk about typhoid. So it has to be related to the topic. What you write should be related to the topic. Unity, unified. So it has to be unified, right? It has to be unified. The other thing, grammatical and well punctuated. Punctuation mark here. I'm not actually expected to teach every details, but keep on reading punctuation mark. Grammatical ማለት ያው tense, conjunctions, especially when you write an essay, think of the cohesive devices as conjunctions. Conjunction ሃትና ትዝጋችኋል? Conjunction result, conjunctions, right? We touch some areas, so go through it. Mr. Akhtar.
Yes, sir.
What's happened? Have you been out of?
ሳንቲም አለቀበትና እንደገና ሞልቼ በሞባይል ስለምጠቀም እኔ አቋረጠ.
Last time you told me that that's why most of the times you are very active here due to the network is no good. Thank you. Any other number? Unified one alapet yanaptam complete grammatical well punctuated. You have any question concerning the assignment?
So is this the third assignment, sir? Or is this?
Okay. The third assignment, of course, one presentation.
With that, it would be four assignments. You gave us an assignment on the paragraph.
Yeah.
Essay. You gave us just before. Presentation, that is third. And this one.
Yeah, of course. Of course, yeah. By the way, እንደዚህ ነው ማለት ነው ብዙ ጊዜ when I give you 4, 5 assignments, 6 assignments, don't hate it. Why? Because sometimes I may choose the best mark. Is that? አንደኛ ሆን ብዬ I want to make you to make you busy like ስለምፈልግ ያው I'm very busy, very open. የሰማችሁ በደንብ when I give 6, 5, 7 assignments, it is a very good opportunity for you. The other thing, you will, for the sake of the assignment, you will reach. Right? The other thing, when you write an essay, if there is mark in the corner, I may choose the best mark one. I don't know. ለዛ ነው ስለዚህ ሁላችሁ ሰርታችሁ ሁሉም ላኩ እንጨግራችሁ ነው ላኩ ከዛ ውጤቱን ነግራችኋለሁ እያንዳንዱ አሳይመንት ላይ አሁን ኔክስት ታይም የሰጠዋችሁን ፕሬዘንቴሽን ማርክ ነግራችኋለሁ ለምሳሌ ሀብታሙ if I give him on the presentation 8 out of 10 why did I give him 8 why so I have to tell him right? I have to tell him if I give him 10 I have to tell him the reasons why he's given 10 ገብታችሁ አላስባባል አገርስሽ Yes, thank you. ስለዚህ ለዛ ነው ግን እስካሁን የላከልን አሳይመንት ሰው የለም ላኩ ባካችሁ ባዲሽ ባይዘኝ የሚል እሺ thank you for the participation in this PowerPoint ላይ
ልዩነት መፍጠር ዓላማችን ነው ዓለም አቀፍ ተወዳዳሪ መሆን አለባችሁ የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ ጥራትና ደረጃውን የጠበቀ ስልጠና በመስጠት ብቁ ዜጋ ያፈራን ነው በፍላይት ኦፕሬሽን በበረራ መስተንግዶ በቲኬቲንግና ሪዘርቬሽን በሆቴልና ቱሪዝም ሙያዎች አሰልጥነን ተወዳዳሪ እናደርጉታለን ኮሌጃችን ካናዳ ከሚገኘው ኢንተርናሽናል ኤር ትራንስፖርት አሶሲዬሽን አያታና ከእንግሊዙ ICM ጋር በመተባበር ዓለም አቀፍ ዕውቅና ያለው ስልጠና እየሰጠ ይገኛል በፍላይት ኦፕሬሽን በበረራ መስተንግዶ የምንሰጣቸው ስልጠና ከኢትዮጵያ ሲቪል አቪዬሽን ባለስልጣን ሙሉ ዕውቅና አለው አድራሻ ከጎላጉል ታወር 22 አደባባይ ወደ ሾላ በሚወስደው መንገድ ላይ የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ ህልሞን እውን ያደርጋል